Hey everyone, let's talk about Albania, a country in the Balkans with a super interesting history. For a long time it was ruled by the Ottoman Empire, but in the 1800s, Albanians started to think, hey, we want our own country. This feeling got stronger and stronger. When the Ottoman Empire got weaker in the First Balkan War in 1912, Albania saw its chance. On November 28, 1912, Albania declared its independence in Vlorë. This was a huge moment, but it wasn't easy. The new country didn't have clear borders, and people inside the country weren't always on the same page. Plus, nearby countries wanted some of Albania's land. Even with all these problems, declaring independence was a big first step. It showed how strong Albanians were and how much they wanted to rule themselves. The road ahead would be tough, but they had started their journey to freedom. So, Albania's early years were a bit messy. First, it was a principality, but no one could agree on who should be the prince. Then World War I happened, and different countries fought over Albania. After the war, people wanted stability, so Albania became a republic in 1925. But that didn't last long. A powerful guy named Ahmet Zogu took over in 1928 and made himself King Zog I. King Zog tried to modernize Albania and make his power stronger, but he was also kind of a dictator and became friends with Italy, which wasn't a great idea in the long run. Things got really tough when fascism started spreading in Europe. Italy's leader, Benito Mussolini, wanted to control more land, and he saw Albania as a good place to start. In April 1939, Italy invaded Albania. King Zog had to run away, and Albania became part of Italy. Italy used Albania's resources for its war effort, and the Albanian people suffered, but they never gave up hope. Then in 1943, after Italy surrendered in World War II, Germany took over Albania. This was another hard time for Albanians. They bravely fought against both the Italians and the Germans, and their resistance was important in finally freeing Albania. Even after World War II, Albania's troubles weren't over. The Communist Party, led by Enver Hoxha, became really powerful. They got rid of the monarchy in 1946 and created the People's Republic of Albania, which later became the People's Socialist Republic of Albania. Hoxha was a strict ruler. He followed Stalin's ideas, meaning farms became shared property, people couldn't disagree with him, and everyone had to praise him. Albania became friends with the Soviet Union, then with China, but mostly stayed isolated from the rest of the world. Sadly, under Hoxha, lots of people's rights were violated, and the government watched everyone very closely. Things started to change when Enver Hoxha died in 1985. His replacement, Ramiz Alia, took over a country that was ready for something new. When the Berlin Wall fell in 1989, it inspired people in Albania too. They had been struggling economically for a long time, and the communist government was losing its control. People started protesting for democracy and an end to communist rule. Finally, in 1990, after many years, Albania had multi-party elections. The communists, now called the Socialist Party, won. But it was a big step towards democracy. Still, the country faced many problems like a weak economy and political unrest. After communism, lots of Albanians left to find better lives in other countries, especially Italy and Greece. This created a large Albanian diaspora, or community of people living outside their home country. Back in Albania, the 1990s were a very difficult time. The country was trying to rebuild everything, create a market economy, and deal with the damage from communist rule. There was a lot of instability, corruption, and problems with the legal system. Things got even worse in 1997 when some investment schemes collapsed and many people lost their money. This led to riots and chaos all over the country. Things started looking up in the 2000s. Albania began to recover from the tough times of the 1990s. The government made changes to the economy, which brought in more money from other countries. Politics became more stable, and democracy grew stronger. Albania also wanted to be friends with other Western countries. Joining NATO in 2009 was a big deal. It showed that Albania believed in democracy and wanted to help keep the region safe. Albania's next big goal was to join the European Union. They applied in 2009 and became a candidate in 2014. Joining the EU is a long process, and Albania had to make lots of changes to its laws and institutions. They've made good progress, especially in fighting corruption and making the legal system stronger. But there are still some problems, like organized crime. The EU wants to see Albania keep improving. Even with these challenges, Albania is still working hard to join the EU because it would bring many advantages. Albania's journey from the beginning of the 1900s to today is a story of incredible strength. From fighting for independence to dealing with the fall of communism, Albania has overcome so much. Joining NATO and wanting to join the EU shows how much Albania has changed. The story of Albania is one of resilience, change, and hope. Even when things were tough, the people of Albania kept working to build a better future. As Albania continues its journey, its story inspires us all, showing that even when things are hard, we can achieve progress with hard work and a shared dream.